Are you looking for a way to help your brick-and-mortar business drive more traffic and increase your sales? Look no further than the Receipt Paper Podcast. In this podcast, Joanne and Kyle provide their sage advice on how to make your brick-and-mortar store the hottest spot in town. Whether you're just launching a new business or trying to grow an existing one, these informative episodes will leave you inspired. In each episode, Joanne and Kyle take on a different topic related to running a successful business. They offer practical tips based on their own experience as owners of multiple brick-and-mortar locations. So whatever challenges you're facing, they have actionable advice for you. From finding a location and executing your build-out, to merchandising and customer experience, to sales and marketing, Joanne and Kyle have you covered. With helpful advice from these experienced entrepreneurs, you are sure to learn how to increase your sales and have your business running out of receipt paper in no time. Let's dive right in.
Welcome back to episode 11 of the Receipt Paper Podcast. My name is Kyle Strubing. I'm here with my life partner, business partner, all things greatness, Joanne Mester, soon to be Strubing. Jojo, baby, how are we doing today?
We are good. Soon to be Strubing is coming faster than we think. What are we at? 3 months away now?
Less than that.
Yeah.
It's definitely feeling real.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Talking about putting the final touches and sampling. We're about to go sample cakes, aren't we?
Yep. That's the last thing we need is a cake.
Yeah, I don't need a cake for my suit. That's been fun. One thing, I've never gotten a fitted suit before. That was one of my favorite parts of this whole thing, is wearing clothes that are actually fitted for you. Well, you don't think about it, right? It's like everybody has their specific body. Not that I'm saying that I have an odd body, but I have broad shoulders, and it's just like things don't fit perfectly. It's just like every shirt, like a shirt fits a certain way. So this is neat that everything fit on the shirt. It's pretty cool.
Good excuse to get a nice suit.
Yeah, it is for sure. But yeah, I just, I'm excited. I'm very excited.
Definitely getting excited.
We are brought to you today we're brought to you by Tap Mango. Tap Mango is, like we've said, probably the best ROI that we get on any of the tools that we have. Go to Tap Mango, check them out, do a demo, go through our page so we get hooked up on the credits. But definitely check it out. Highly recommend the rewards, the functionality. Tap Mango. Appreciate you guys.
Tap Mango is a great rewards and loyalty program. If you do not have a way to collect customer data at your business right now, I highly recommend it. It's the best way that we get people to provide their phone numbers and emails that we can retarget them. So you can get a free demo with them at masterbrickandmortar.com/tapmango.
And remember, guys, your net worth is your net worth.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I had some coffee this morning.
Something like that.
All right.
Something like that. I'm just excited. We are the number 22 business podcast in Tunisia on Spotify, I think.
Yeah.
Some of the metrics on these things are fantastic.
Yeah.
I think it's great. But
Hitting records left and right.
Yeah. Hopefully they enjoy it in there.
Speaking of records, we actually hit a record Saturday last week.
Did we?
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah.
It was a phenomenal Saturday. It's so exciting when you've been in business for a while and you are still hitting records and you still see that your business has room to grow. So we were definitely exhausted after that day.
Still exhausted.
Yes, I don't think we didn't sit down from 7 a.m. all the way to, we got home at 10 o'clock that night, but it was busy, but it was fun. We had group parties. We had an event at the store that day.
Yeah.
It was insane, but it was awesome. And that kind of leans into what we're talking about today, which is utilizing your business to create additional revenue streams. I think when we first got started in brick and mortar business, we were just seeing, the obvious right in front of you of selling your product or service in your store and how can you grow that, which is if you're first starting out, that should be your focus. How do you get open and then how do you optimize? But if you've been in business for a while, or even if you're new, it's great to start thinking about your business as a platform. You're more than just a physical store. You are a trusted advisor because you do have a store. Your business, your brick and mortar business is really a platform for your brand, and it's a way that you can build multiple revenue streams. So really using your storefront to build upon the brand, to think outside of the box of ways that you can diversify your revenue streams is so important and vital. It's something, we started brainstorming on about a year or two into our business, and it changed everything for us. So today, we are going to dive into 8 different ideas and ways that you can add in additional revenue streams to grow your business beyond just selling your product or core service at your business.
Yeah, for sure. With that steady traffic of people and being at the store, that's one thing that's kind of key. You are presented with a lot of different opportunities, and you have to be open for that and figure out where you can pivot and make decisions. And a lot of these things have been ways for us to make some big moves.
Yeah.
Um, and we'll go over how and all that, but you definitely you want to be there and available and open-minded to figure out where you can capitalize. You have a steady group of people who view you as an expert in something, and a lot of this, I think, boils down or goes towards, I think, some of the other episodes that we've talked about as far as building fans and stuff of, where people are like all the time, like, hey man, I was thinking about this idea or this idea. What do you think? And there's just been so many opportunities because we fostered that, open form of communication and stuff. And we're available to people.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. If some employee was there all the time, we wouldn't have a lot of the stuff.
Right.
It was what.
Yeah, I think that open-mindedness is key because a lot of times you're like, what? No, I don't do that. I don't,
Right.
That's not my expertise, but, you know, maybe you do, maybe you should,
Yeah,
if you're being asked to do it, then maybe, that's another idea for you.
And maybe even to a fault, I probably, we'll have a cup of coffee with anybody, honestly.
Mhm.
Maybe that's to a fault. We should be a little
Yeah.
bit more.
Overcommit to
Well,
things.
but I like to hear ideas. I like to hear pitches and figure out where I can help. And if I could take advantage, not in that sense, in the sense of like taking advantage in the true form of the word, but like if I can see an opportunity and capitalize on it for the benefit of everybody, then yeah, heck yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely, like I said, we've tons of different opportunities just from being there. Really.
All right, so let's dive in. We've got 8 different ideas for you on ways that you can really diversify and add in additional revenue streams. And these really have the potential to kind of change the trajectory of your business. So, starting with number 1 is creating an online store. So, the hybrid model of having a physical store and an online store is really the way of the future. Like, so much research is even showing that a lot of these online brands are actually going to start building brick and mortar businesses as a physical brand presence, not even necessarily to drive um, in-store revenue so much, but to really build their brand. So, you can look at it the opposite way of, you have this physical storefront, this brand presence. So, why not open that online? And I know when we first got started, we weren't thinking about online much, but after a while, you start getting a lot of requests. Hey, I've got a cousin in Nebraska. How can they order? Or do you guys ship? You'll start to see a lot of that. So adding in that online store, an easy way for people to purchase from you is really great for growth.
Yeah, we saw like, and it also allows you to retain a lot of your customers because sometimes they'll come in and you pitch your differentiator or something new, or you turn somebody on to something new, and maybe they were just in the area, or maybe they don't live close, or they were in town for whatever reason, and you never see them again. And then I'll hear a lot of times, well, yeah, I mean, they'll come back later. It's like, yeah, I mean, I buy online all the time. Thanks for really turning me on to that. And I was like, well, wait, we didn't get your online sales. So they just kind of went somewhere else. It's nice to be able to capture them and keep them that way too.
Yeah.
That's another big thing because then they can just, sometimes people love that, but sometimes the convenience, they just need the product.
Yeah. And even services and stuff, we get people that call in from out of town, like, hey, I want to get a gift card
Yeah.
for so and so, so making sure that people can easily buy gift cards for people that are local is great. Is a great thing to do. If you don't have an online website already, Shopify is a really easy way just to get started at a low price, not too complicated. E-commerce websites, you can go really robust and they can get really expensive really fast, but starting simple and growing from there is key. But you can really start to grow your online business through social media. There's lots of ways to market that as well in tandem with your physical store brand. Yep. So number one, consider an online store or hybrid model with your physical store. Number two is subscription boxes. So we considered this in the beginning. We wound up not moving forward with it just because our margins at the time didn't make sense. But if somebody has, if you have great margins on your products, I would highly consider this, especially if you create your own products. Subscription boxes and memberships are really, really trending right now. People love these subscription boxes. You see them everywhere from dog toys to, makeup to, clothing. They got it all. I mean, pretty much anything in a subscription box. But it's a great way. I mean, even you could have them order online for in-store pickup or physically ship it to them. But great way to get people trying new products, signing up for like a monthly membership.
With some stale inventory.
Yes,
Yeah.
yep. So there's so much you can do there and some really cool ways you can like create. There's some really cool like websites where you can create your own custom box. I remember we
Yeah.
did that, and it was really fun to kind of build your box. But
What's one of your favorite subscription boxes that you've
oh
ever used?
man, that's hard. I mean, we
Or when I did that muscle one, and he used to make fun of me because it was
oh
nothing
my
but
God.
like plastic protein shakers and old school Arnold Schwarzenegger
Yeah, it
and
was
socks.
the funniest
I
packaging.
loved it. You couldn't stand it. I thought it was cool. It was just different
But the
stuff
snacks weren't even
the
good.
snacks were not good. The protein bars were not good. But for I don't know, was it 30, $40? It was like it just had a bunch of
Yeah,
it was like you said, just something I looked forward to
yeah,
getting. It was like, oh, did that show up? And it
yeah,
was it was cool. It was always something neat. And it like I said, it turned me on to like a different workout brand or whatever. I enjoyed it.
yeah, yeah. I did Etsy for a long time with I send you different makeup and stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
We've always done factor meals. That's not necessarily a box, but
Right.
box of food.
Yeah.
But it is, I mean, yeah, everybody's doing them now.
I always like that stuff, even like with the fruits and vegetables and stuff that we do. There's always some random vegetable that I've never even seen before or heard of, and then like we're now making a different dish with it or something. It's always cool. It's fun, and it's a
Yeah,
lot more. I think it elicits an emotion of surprise and fun and with your brand,
yeah,
definitely, which is
right.
cool, which is fun. Intrigue.
Yeah. So subscription boxes are great for products. And if you have services, I highly recommend memberships. If you don't have a membership created already, that is such a great way to build your base revenue every month. If you can get 100 members, think about, that's $10,000 every month of revenue that is coming in.
Yeah,
And,
mailbox money.
a lot of people may not even be utilizing that service. Like we have a massage membership and we don't go every month. They, kind of stack up, but then we wind up giving out as great gift cards or things like that. But, memberships is something that we're really focusing on at our float therapy center this year. And I'm looking forward to updating you guys on how that grows, but it's a great way to just get instant revenue.
And as a provider, Joanne touched on something there too. It's like if you give them away, you gift those credits. That's even better, in my opinion. You're talking about a whole nother person, a fresh customer, a new body that never,
Mm-hmm.
they're paying to come in to see you. So I've always
Yeah.
thought that was that people ask if they can gift them, and like, heck yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. That's another door swing, another opportunity to get
Yeah.
that person on a membership. Absolutely,
Yeah. Absolutely.
absolutely.
All right. So number one was online store. Number two was subscription boxes or memberships. And number three is teaching classes and charging for them. I mean, you can offer classes for free. That's a great way just to drive traffic to your store. But when you start, considering yourself as an expert in your industry, it's really an opportunity for you to go out in the community even and teach classes and charge for them. You can do it in person or virtual, but you are an expert on your product or service. I think so many brick and mortar business owners underestimate, you know, their expertise. It's like you are in the trenches every day of your business with this product or service that you're selling, and you know so much more than you think.
Right.
You have learned so much. So, whether it's, let's say you're a donut shop and have this expertise like teaching cooking classes, or maybe, just teaching about, decorating.
Decorate your donut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so much that you can do, and you really can charge for them. I know we started teaching at conferences, and we weren't getting paid for that, but
Right.
usually we'd get like free admission to the conference or something.
Wow,
But
so
it,
much
yeah, it
so.
grew our brand so much, and that's what really took us to the next level. Was we were teaching other CBD business owners what we were doing at our store,
Right.
and so we would go to hemp conferences and teach about our in-store experience, and
Well,
it
we leveraged with the hemp regarding the hemp thing. We leveraged the business for to increase our platform. We leveraged that as us being experts because people and we were smart enough for looking back. I don't want to pat ourselves on the back here, but like looking back on it, there was a lot of people that were very it was you're with having a brick and mortar, everybody cooks, everybody does this, everybody purchases things, everybody does this, but not everybody is in the actual business. And this is your livelihood. You know so much more, and you know how to make money with it too. That's another big thing. Yes, you can bake a donut, or yes, you can do this, but do you understand enough or know how to make money off of that enough that your passion actually feeds your bills and feeds your family? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It feeds that lifestyle as opposed to, yes, I'm a huge fan of hemp. I know everything about it, yada, yada, yada. It's like, okay, cool. But how we were the people that came in and said, how do you then go about making money with that and have a lifestyle that can support that? And that was a lot of techniques that we learned and we kind of teach that too, but
today.
want to teach that today. But that's the thing, like how do you, yes, this is awesome, yes, that's a donut, yes, that's a hemp, but how are you making money with it? And that was big for us, and we kind of leveraged ourselves as a niche to the thing of like, we're the brick and mortar people. Yes, there's advocacy, yes, there's this, yes, there's that, but we were the people to talk to about how to actually do this, and it made sense. I mean, it was huge for us.
Yeah.
It brought us franchise opportunities, it brought us other speaking engagement. I mean, it was just huge.
Yeah.
It really was.
Yeah, so I'd recommend, take a look at your expertise. Where does your expertise lie? Are you the one that came up with, the merchandising, the decorating, maybe you're the expert at the back end inventory, or, maybe you're just the chef, the amazing chef. Where is your expertise, and how could you go help, other people with that expertise?
Right. And then know what you know, and this goes, back to know what you know and know what you don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like, I wasn't talking to people about, or people now talk about like how to manufacture a product and stuff. It's just like, that's just not my game.
No.
It really isn't. It was, well, why don't you have your own specific supplement brand or whatever, because I'm just not. We tried, we vetted it. It was not. It's not my passion.
Yeah.
It's just not. I just not.
That's a great point.
Thank you. I do have a point. Yes.
So, number 4, moving right along, is wholesaling products. This was huge for us for a while. We really opened our business, and we were like some of the first in DFW. And so businesses started opening left and right. We had the opportunity to either look at them as competition or look at them as a sales opportunity. And, we wound up wholesaling a lot of product to our nearby competitors. So it was a great way to grow our business. I mean, if they're going to be selling a product, you might as well be selling it to them. But there are so many businesses that you could wholesale your product to, or and consider that. I wouldn't recommend doing this like day one, because you're going to need it with wholesale. It's a high volume game, so you got to do a lot of volume and
you want to get your margins down.
you
Yeah, you want to
yeah.
find room in margins and stuff for
But
sure.
this is a great way to increase your revenue. I know there's actually a float center in DFW with our float centers, we have to buy like a whole pallet of Epsom
Thousands
salt
of pounds of salt
to
at a
fill
time.
up our tanks. We probably do that like every 6 months. We buy a pallet. Well, when we were looking for salt, another float center was like, "Oh, we've got a salt business.
Yeah.
They wholesale the salt."
Yeah, it was
And I was like, that was genius of them,
well, at first we were like, huh, what's in it for this?
Yeah,
But
it was so smart. They jumped on that opportunity to offer, bulk Epsom salt. They were already buying it for themselves, and they could buy down the rates if they were buying it for 20 other float centers. And and they're in our backyard, so they just deliver it right over to us. And it was great. But it was just, there's so many out of the box ways like that you can wholesale and add to your revenue stream.
And it also allows, I know in Ray's situation, like it allows him to kind of keep an eye on the industry and keep an eye on the competition and what he's doing. And we're an open book. Like he comes in, I really, and the float industry is there's just some great people, period. And he's one of them. So it was nice to kind of, now I can lean on him or whatever. But you also, with the wholesaling, you develop really valuable relationships as well too. You really do. So
yeah. So there's so many ways. Think of, are there things that you are buying that maybe you could buy in bulk and offer to other businesses? Are you, selling products that you could sell to other businesses? What are the ways that you can wholesale and add that into your revenue?
And it also builds your brand too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like what is the coffee shop had for Zen Zero closed down? They had all of their cookies. They had the best cookies, and they ended up closing down in COVID. But it was like you would go there. I would go there depending on traffic to get that cookie because you knew that it was there. And it was just such a fantastic thing, and that I would not have known about the restaurant in general, that 10-0 restaurant. I would not have known about that had I not gone in and got coffee. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I don't go to like these grandiose bakeries. That's not my thing, but I'll go to a coffee shop and grab something. So it was able to kind of turn me on to their brand in general because they were wholesaling their product.
Oh, what
You know what I'm saying?
song?
They're wholesaling the cookies. The coffee shop was wholesaling chocolate chip cookies, which seems like pretty basic, but these were exceptional. And I was like, okay, great. What else do these people have? You know what I mean? And it was it was a state. It became just a place that I really enjoyed. I'm talking circles there.
Yeah, I just didn't know they wholesale.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Let's see. We've got, so number 1 was online store. Number 2, subscription boxes or memberships. Number 3, teaching classes. Number 4 was wholesale. Now we're on to number 5, which is partnering with other businesses. So there's lots of ways you can do this to build revenue streams. One is if you have extra space, you could allow another business to come in and do a revenue share. This is something that we did. We had extra rooms, so we had an esthetician come in and she did facials, and then we just took a cut from each of their services. We also did this with IV Nutrition. They had a physical storefront about 45 minutes away, but they were looking to grow and expand and didn't want to open another brick and mortar just yet. So we just let them use our space. They came and did IV shots and drips. We took like 30% of that, for them to use our space. It was a value add for our customers, and it wound up being a win-win. So, we were just able to add in another business. And then you can also, outside of that, look at partnering with a business as referrals. So if there is a business that is similar that that your customers would also enjoy or benefit from, go talk to that business and say, hey, I can, probably send you 5, 10, 20, 30 people a month. How can I benefit from that? Can I get paid as like an affiliate? Can I, get free services from you? I don't know.
Here's how
Yeah.
we typically handle this, and then, and make a suggestion for them.
Yeah.
How you want to do it, for sure.
Look at utilizing other businesses, other people, but you have customers coming into your business that you can now, you benefit off of from them utilizing other services. Yeah.
Not to toot our own horn, but we do a pretty good job at realizing what our customers fit a certain profile, and we've done a good job of saying, well, where else have they gone? Where else do they go? So we're able to really figure out multiple different solutions to our customers, or we call them fans, to our fans' problems. We really do. And it's, we could probably do a whole podcast episode on the ins and outs of how you should partner and who and what and how you should work these things. And I have comments on that. But the idea of, I mean, like even when we had the IV in this week, it was as an event on Saturday, it was fantastic. Like, but those are this, where else these people also need these things.
Yeah.
You're not the only store that they go to when they're running errands. There's other things. Where are they going? And so it was very,
can you bring that to you?
yeah, and associate with these good, it makes it gooder. It makes you feel just bigger than what you're actually doing.
Yeah, it's such a bonus because you're bringing more value to your customers, and now you are selling more and making more money. And now your customer, you've built more clout, you've built, I mean, it's just a win-win if you can find ways to do this. So absolutely look at ways that you can partner with businesses. But don't just let them use your space for free. See how you can do a revenue share. What you are offering by having, so many customers walk through your door that day and a, room or area for them, that's valuable.
Well, the square footage itself, you guys sign your own leases. You know how much a square foot of your place costs per month? I mean, that's money. That's a real ad, like I always thought we should have got, well, this topic for another day. But yeah, I mean, definitely, it creates a different dynamic. But like I said, we can definitely talk about that, build on that. But it's it makes you seem a lot bigger than you are.
Yeah.
It does. It just in that you have and that you're attracting this whole different energy. It really does. And they're like, wait a second, like you guys do IVs. You're not just this. Or you're not just that. It's like, no, we're a full-on wellness solution, and given an unlimited budget, unlimited everything, we would offer everything. So we've partnered with trusted advisors that we, have vetted, that we personally use, or whatever the case may be.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing is just don't forget the value that you are providing to that business partner, and that you can and you've earned your right to charge them for a revenue stream. Don't, if you want to vet them out one time, let them come by, that's fine. But if they're going to be consistently in your space selling something, then there needs to be a revenue share.
Sure.
Yeah. All right, moving right along to number 6. This is definitely a more advanced strategy for those of you who have been in business longer, but is considering franchising. So we see so many people that open a business, and we did this ourselves, and then you instantly want to open like 2, 3, 4 more businesses. You've seen that success, and this is what we did. We grew really, really fast and opened multiple locations, and then you're like, whoa, I'm kind of in over my head. We don't have the time to be in all these stores, and this is a lot of overhead now, so it can get get really overwhelming really fast. But if you consider franchising it, it's just a great way to grow without having to overextend yourself. Right.
Yeah, definitely. It's a different skill, I would say. I kind of have to put my customer hat on and then like this hat on.
Yeah.
It's certainly a shift, but I mean, we're talking about making big money moves.
Yeah.
This is something that does that. Joanne and I sit around and say, well, how do we get away from selling $60 bottles of CBD and now to something higher ticket? And this is one of the things. Pros and cons itself of entering into a franchise. Once again, we could do another total episode on this, but it definitely lends to being able getting your name out there and offering other opportunities. You have the proof right there,
Yeah.
right? I mean, I will say, make sure that your house is in order for sure, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, certainly if somebody's willing and aligns with your values and likes your brand and stuff like that, and that's why a lot of the stuff leading up to it, like the end goal, right, is to what, like, where does your business end with retirement, or you sell the business or you scale it or whatever. This is another one of those plays that
Hmm.
you have to look at the end as you're kind of creating it too in the
Yeah.
beginning, like the new brands and stuff like that we're coming out with aren't with that intention, but we have that foresight now, which we didn't have 5 years
Yeah.
ago.
Yeah, this is definitely a strategy I would not recommend until you've been in business for multiple years, 3 to 5 years. Being able to really vet out that, do your due diligence of this is a long-lasting brand. This I've seen it all, and and you're willing to let somebody else go invest in that brand and grow it themselves. But it can definitely be a great way to grow. But yes, once again, more advanced strategy. There's a lot that goes into it. We have experience in franchising. We could just most certainly tell you how not to structure
Sure.
a franchise, but definitely some opportunity there if you're looking to grow and expand quickly. It's a good way.
And I don't think, this necessarily shouldn't be part of your end business plan in the beginning or whatever, but it's something to be cognizant of.
Hmm.
I mean, if, based on your brand and stuff, you want to have an eye on the future. And maybe this is way down the road for you, but like, you still should make some decisions based off of, kind of the end goal.
Well, if you notice, like, you have a lot of people coming in your business asking about, like, we had so many people coming in, like, hey, we're thinking about opening a CBD store. Or, hey, we're thinking about opening a float center.
Right.
And we started to realize, well, like, man, people are wanting to model their businesses after what we're doing.
Right.
We've thought about, like, man, maybe we should just let people copy us directly and benefit off of it. I mean, we haven't done that yet, but it's something we've been talking about because so many people do ask us for expertise, and we provide that a lot, although, we charge consulting fees for that
Sure.
expertise. But, at the end of the day, they kind of just want the same thing that we have.
Right.
They kind of want to just copy us, and we really, if so as you have more and more people coming into your business asking those things, just keep that in the back of your mind, like, hey, maybe there is some opportunity here. There are a lot of prospects for this. Yeah.
Sure.
All right, let's move on to number 7, which is one-on-one consulting on your expertise. This is very similar to, teaching classes, but kind of leans in a little more to what Kyle was talking about earlier. Like when it comes to, helping somebody make more money, something, that kind of leans in more to the consulting approach. This is something we do a lot of. We get a lot of requests after being in business for 5 years of, how have you guys been successful at this? And it really allows us to lean in more and help people on a one-on-one level. So this is certainly what we've done with Brick-and-Mortar Academy, doing more of this consulting, but you are an expert and you can look at ways to do consulting, especially on a one-on-one, which you can charge more for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, consulting 100%. I mean, it's you get it. You know the difference between, you've lived those learns, you've lived those lessons, and you've hopefully learned those lessons. And it's a value add by you adding in stuff, not in the fact of what also, not what you can add, but what you can prevent people from doing, making killer mistakes,
Yeah.
stuff like that. I mean,
Yeah.
you don't know you don't know when you're first getting into this and when someone comes to you like you know so much more than you think you do.
Right.
People don't know basic stuff and that can cost money.
Yeah.
So that's where you come in and that's your value add. Like
Right.
there's things that people don't even know what they don't know.
Right.
And that's where you come in and make that value add.
Absolutely. And number 8, last but not least, this is probably what made the biggest difference in our personal business, which is diversify your offerings. So what do I mean by this? If you sell products, is there a service that you can consider adding in that complements the product? Or if you sell services, are there product lines that you consider adding in? I mean, you have people in your business buying a product, you could directly sell them a service right next to it. Or if you're selling a service, directly sell a product, vice versa. We did this and it was huge for us. It completely changed our whole business. So we started out as a CBD store and we were trying to think, look, there's a million CBD stores coming in. How do we diversify, A, differentiate ourselves, but B, we got to figure out a way to bring in more revenue because people are going everywhere now. And we started, so then that's when we opened our services, our float therapy services. And it was huge for us. I mean, our float services sales are practically more than our CBD sales. We are transitioning to a full wellness center now because of that, but it just changed everything for us. So looking at ways of how can you double down by adding in a product or service that directly complements what you're doing already.
Yeah, if you're selling a product, what solution does that product provide? If you're selling a service, what solution does that product provide? And then align the two. Right? Anxiety, pain, stuff like that. That's what all the people were coming in for us originally. Well, with the square footage, how else can I solve that solution? Flow therapy, whatever, the
Yeah.
wellness stuff. It was all, and vice versa. You do the same way the other way. Where else? How else can I help my customer that has, I solved this problem. How else can I do that aside from just my one product? That whole, a lot of times we get wrapped up in like these basic just ingredients and our differentiator more than anything else that you don't look outside the box per se and think, I mean, we're so in bed and so in love with like, in the beginning it was all like CBD, right? Like, oh my gosh, it was the hottest thing. But then we were told like CBD is an ingredient, right? And it allowed us to think so much bigger than that. Like, yes, that's important, but what is it doing? Right? What is it doing and how else do we solve that? And not that people aren't coming in there for CBD. People are coming in there for pain relief, for anxiety relief. It's like, people aren't coming into a cookie place for sugar,
Yeah.
right? It was very backwards to it was when exposed, as I was exposed, but when presented this idea, it really made sense to us and was a game changer.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, just think about like you mentioned the cookie place. Like, are people coming in to buy cookies for a celebration? Or,
Yeah.
what else do they typically need? Cards, balloons? What else can you just put right there that all of a sudden increases your revenue stream that it makes it more convenient for your customers. Now they're getting both of it right then and there. So just look at those other items that complement you. What other needs do your customers have? Where are they going somewhere else to get something that they could conveniently get with you,
Right.
right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's a good point.
Yeah. All right, so let's recap ways that you can bring in additional revenue streams. We've got building an online store, subscription boxes or memberships, teaching classes and making sure you charge for them, wholesaling your products, partnering with other businesses to utilize your space or refer business to them. We've got franchising, one-on-one consulting, and diversifying your offerings by adding in other product lines or services. So I highly encourage you just to start keeping these things in the back of your mind. How could you start adding one or two of these things into your business to increase your revenue? Some of these strategies take more time, but really thinking about how you can slowly roll them out in your business, I'm telling you, they can completely change your business. When we added in the service lines to our business, it changed our business forever. And I don't know that we would have gotten to the revenue we're at today without doing so.
Yeah, Joy brings up a good point. It's not, these are bigger, long-term, this, that, and the other, right? It's not something that maybe necessarily you can do right away. But the point of a lot of this is just to be in that mentality, to be open for the opportunities and to think bigger and to think literally outside of the box. And that I think is more, it's that mentality more than anything else. And yes, the X's and O's are important, but if you're constantly open and you're looking for solutions and it's really quite, what the solution is really quite irrelevant, because you're just looking for something and then you can find it, pivot it, and make a dollar off of it.
Absolutely. Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode and it has your brain and juices flowing. We're excited to hear what you come up with. If you have any questions, reach out to us anytime. We always love chatting with you all. But we hope you have a great week and we'll see you next week.
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody stay cool.
Thanks for tuning in to the Receipt Paper Podcast, your go-to source of information for starting and growing a successful brick-and-mortar business. Subscribe to hear future episodes and share this content so that more people can access these valuable insights. If you're looking for more resources to help you with your brick-and-mortar business, visit masterbrickandmortar.com or follow us on Instagram at masterbrickandmortar. Thanks again for listening to the Receipt Paper Podcast. We'll see you in the next episode.